briefly, I read and hear about women who distinguish themselves in different fields, discussing whether having children is necessarily part of femininity. Is it an essential condition for a woman's fulfillment in society? Some women consider that what is essential and fundamental is one's career, one's profession, the contribution one can make to society. Others argue that procreating is important, but not essential. A woman can be fulfilled in different ways. In a way, it is part of the project, the universal project nowadays, of placing women and men on the same plane. In biblical times, on the other hand, motherhood was what defined women. We see that the matriarchs, at least 3 of them, had difficulty in conceiving and becoming pregnant. These women conceived only after divine intervention as a result of prayer and prayers that were offered. The matriarch Rachel expressed it best maybe when she tells her husband, "Give me children or I die." Because a fundamental concept in the Bible is the continuity of the monotheistic ideal. And this concept of continuity requires new generations to uphold these concepts. It is clear that procreation is fundamental to humanity. Think of the efforts that are made to ensure that certain species of animal species remain in the world and do not disappear. I think humanity surely deserves no less considerations. Many problems facing European nations nowadays are a consequence of their low fertility rates. Immigration, sometimes of people of dubious origin, is a consequence of this phenomenon. Many of the immigrants, instead of integrating, adapting, incorporating the customs of the host nation, try the opposite, to maintain their own traditions and customs while anticipating that the new society as a whole will adapt these norms. Moreover, these immigrants bring the notion that one of the primary functions of women is procreation. So this may be one of the reasons in many Eastern cultures we allow a man to have several wives, since a single man can make several women fertile, who have to go through a long period of time to give birth, considering the pregnancy requires about 9 months for the offspring to come to light. Perhaps our self-centered attitude that regards the individual's happiness as the real goal of life, one cannot help but to think that a child deprives freedom for a long time, especially the mother. And if comfort and satisfaction are fundamental to the individual, procreation interferes with this desire. Considering that the modern world has imposed a very large tax on the process of educating people, today's couples consider the real cost of bringing a baby into the world, and simply procreating without limit will produce devastating economic effects for the family. What do you think? Modern contraceptive methods allow sexual activity within the couple without the inevitable consequence of producing pregnancy, including couples that opt for abortion, which in turn is a very ticklish issue that divides society head on, even in small, friendly circles. Can there be a middle ground? The joy and security, the eventual companionship that children produce for the couple, that cannot be underestimated. Have you ever seen a table with 30 people, with children and grandchildren, and nowadays even great-grandchildren, partaking of a meal, conversation, familiar warmth that you cannot find if the couple is childless? On the other hand, there are many childless couples that seek help in order to reproduce because they realize that a child it brings about joy, completes really a family. I think that most children are really loyal and consistent with their parents. And maybe in a certain stage of life, when you can't fend for yourself, if you have children, they will certainly help you. Think about it. Think about the importance of having children in this world.